beautiful people, I welcome you to my channel and thank you so much for clicking onto this video. For the returning subscribers, thank you so much. I truly appreciate your presence. You're my treasures. I really value you. And if you've not subscribed and would want to join the family, or would want to join this community, kindly consider subscribing. It will mean a lot to me. And also, it will help a girl out grow on YouTube. Thank you so much. So as you've seen in the title, today I will be sharing. My wedding at the Attorney General's office. So earlier in a video posted on Friday, if you've not checked it out, kindly go check it out. I will leave a link in the description box below. Kindly check it out. In the video, I intimated that I will be sharing my experience, and this is one of the most valuable experiences to me. So I got married to my best friend, someone I've known for the longest time. Yes, we've been together for approximately almost 8 years now, but we just recently got married. I will give a backstory of how my husband and I met. So we met in campus, and it was a really good experience. It was a good experience. However, for people who know where I'm going to say that we met, hakuna kujaja hapa. This is a safe space, and you can share. You can comment down below of how you remember the place. So let me get right into the backstory. So in 2013, I was in campus, and you know campus children. Most of the time, only few of them have found themselves. Only few of them know what they went to do in school. So yes, some of them just go around to joke. And if you listen to Zulu, you realize that he recommends that people should not date and should grow themselves before the age of 25. However, I am lucky to have found someone below that age, and when I was below that age and we've been together this far. Another thing that I would want to say is that kindly do not look at anybody's relationship and think that they do not have their own challenges. As a couple, they do. Just that most of the time people will share the good and will not share the bad. So we have had our ups and downs, but the truth is that we've always chose each other in every situation. So I wouldn't want to portray my relationship out there as being perfect. It's far from perfect. My relationship is not perfect. Neither is anybody's relationship, so don't be lied to. Just be safe. A relationship should be a safe place for you. It should always make you feel secure, protected, and cared for. That is all that should matter. So I'm sorry, I just got out. It got out of hand. I'm really sorry. So we met, my husband and I, as I was saying, we met in 2013. Both of us were in campus, and it was a great experience. Knowing him has changed my life in so many ways. Actually, when we met, I was the reigning Miss Kabarak that year, and we met at my friend's party. I can't remember what she was celebrating, but we met at my friend's party the first time that I talked to him face to face. I had been seeing him previously in school, but we've never talked. We didn't talk until that day. We've never had a face to face. I actually consider myself a very shy person, and during that time, I think I was hiding a lot in a clique of chicks. So getting to me personally was quite something else. You know how those cliques in school work. So on that day, my friend invited me to an amachoma something at Campia Moto. As I said it, Campia Moto. For those who remember Campia Moto, at school it was considered to be something else because having been taken to a Christian university, you understand and know that there are things that are not tolerated there. I don't know whether the situation has changed or it's still the same right now, but the truth is that at that time, you will not be seen drunk or being unruly near at inside the school compound or near the school because it was not a good picture of the school. So most of the time people would go Ukotini. I know there was a place in Rafiki, it was past Rafiki, it's like you are going. I don't know whether that school was called Sunrise. If you remember the school, kindly remind me down below. Huko chini kabisa past Rafiki now, there was a place where people would go and take alcohol and do whatever they wanted because you couldn't be seen doing that near school. So on this particular day, I was invited to Campiamoto, and I remember previously I had gone through a really bad breakup, and it was not good. It was really nasty, extremely nasty, because I was the one who was dumped. I will say it on camera. So I wasn't opening up to people. So when I got there, I got a seat at a place that what were they called Nakata. Because if you remember, Kampiamoto at that time, hizo manyumba zilikuwa makuti and then surrounded by some tentish things. So where I sat was where people would keep on walking in. And I remember my husband was sitting. My husband, who was to be my boyfriend at that time, was sitting across that side and he noticed. So he just stood up and came and told me you can go sit there. So I just was so grateful because people kept on barging in and it's annoying. You're trying to just sit comfortably and someone is just walking in and out. Some of them are drunk, yes, I will say it. Because we all know what people want to and they wanted to do. So I went sat there, and because I remember I had left school at approximately 6:30, so it was almost getting dark. When it was around, I think 7:20, a friend of his left. I don't know where they were going, but I remember there was someone who suggested that they go to town because this party was not going all night. It was not an all-nighter. And most of the time when people will start drinking at Campiamoto, they will go to town to not party, because that was not a club. And okay, there was some music and all that, but people loved going to Campiamoto. So sorry, going to town for, what do we call them? For clubs. Because Las Vegas is known for the nightlife also. So people would go to Nakuru for the Nakuru town for clubbing. I remember someone suggested that they go. So some of them left, and one of the people who left was seated next to me. So when they left, my husband stood up and came. We sat together. We started talking. At some point, we exchanged numbers. But at that time, I wasn't really open to being in a relationship because being Miss Kabara 2013, 2014, most of the guys who wanted to be seen with me was for status. It was like I was a trophy. I've bagged this chick. It was ilikuwa hivyo. So I really had trust issues. I had trust issues, but um, yes, we exchanged numbers, and I remember I told him that I have to go home because in my school you could never get into school past 8, and you could never get out of school past 8, and you could not get into school, I think sometime at 10 or 9:30. I really can't remember well because it was so forbidden. It was forbidden. So I didn't take alcohol on that day because I was reducing the trauma that came with it. I know parents don't know this, but these things happen when people go to school. You get influenced, you get to connect with people who are not good company. So on that day, I just went. When I went back to school, we stayed for a while, and I remember I met him coming from Nando's. Yes, he was coming from Nando's. So when we met, it's like on that day, maybe that I actually don't know, I didn't save your number. So I gave him my number again. Separation. I gave him my number again. I actually did like him. Then, right now it's something different. So once I gave him my number again, what happened was that he called me later, and we started going out on dates. Yes, we started dating. And I remember that after that, everything is history. In 2015, I got pregnant while in 4th year, first semester, and gave birth later in that year. So we have a son who's almost turning 6 years. We're grateful to God. We've been together since then. It's not been a bed of roses, I will tell you the truth. But I love him so much, and he means a lot to me. He means a lot to me because he's been there for me in the darkest of times when things were not looking good at all for me. So he means a lot to me. He means a lot to me. And so in 2020, we decided that we should just make this thing official because as you know, by the way, nowadays chemistry is not considered as a marriage, not unless you've had a customary marriage, of which I also think that you need to register it. It's good and advisable that you register your marriage. So in 2020, we started our process of registration, and we registered our marriage. So what happened is that we paid. Let me just confirm. Sorry. I noticed that it was really just to make myself remember. So I believe for the registration of marriage, you register it, but then you have to pay now for the notice. The notice you pay approximately 650. I'm planning to do a part 2 in which I will do a mock marriage registration. So in that one, we will see as in real time how much you're expected to use. I do not have a ring right now, so anybody who sees me might think that I'm not married. But to me, to be honest, I do not place value in rings because I know that people have worn rings and done so many things, but still having those rings. So yes, my respect and loyalty to my partner matters more than having a ring on. So yes. So you will register the marriage, and you will pay 600 to 650, sorry for the notice. So the notice will run for 21 days. And before we go to the notice, if your partner is the one who registered, you will receive a notification that someone has registered a marriage with intention of you being their partner or their spouse. So that is to provide you with the opportunity to object if at all you're not consenting to the registration of marriage. Within the 21 days, I believe you can object to that, to the registration of that marriage. So after the 21 days lapsed, we were invited for an interview. Unfortunately, we only saw it later because it was system, and we only received, I think, we received the message either after or on that day, and we couldn't make it. So what we did, we rebooked the interview. Once we rebooked the interview, we were given a date again. When you rebook it in the system, you can choose a date, but I think it generates dates according to how their schedule is. So the system generated a date, and we went for our interview. So when we went for our interview, here is tip number 1. When you go for the interview, what happens is that they ask you personal questions just to know you on a personal level, and I think just to establish whether you're being coerced or someone is being coerced to marry the other. The other thing that happens is you sign a sworn statement. In Kenya, we call them affidavits. So in these affidavits, what is contained in the affidavit is you swear that you're not related by blood. Number 2, you swear that you are single, or you have, if you've been married before, a decree has been issued or divorce has been finalized. That is what happens. So once you sign it, they scan and they need it back to the system and go back to the system. Once they go back to the system, they generate an invoice. And in the invoice, you're required to pay now for the marriage, for the wedding itself, 3,300. You're required to pay 3,300. So here is tip number 1. Kindly, when you're going for the interview, just go with the money, because you're not going to pay it on the day of the wedding. You will pay it during this interview. And I think the problem is that it's not indicated anywhere. Because I remember if we had not gone with that money, we would have had to reschedule that interview again. Because once you pay for the wedding, they now give you the actual date for the wedding itself. So once we had paid, I remember when I went there, actually, systems in Yanguka, because they do these things manually and also by paper. So the tip number 2 is that you see that registration that you did initially before the 21 days lapsed, your registration, your partner will be 600. You need to go with that paper. And I would also advise any other document that you used to apply, and now just in case usianze kuondoka nje ukanini ushafikiwa, because it's a tedious process. There are so many couples there, and they also have to be interviewed. So kindly carry those papers. The other thing you have to note is that since the COVID-19 is still is a pandemic, it's not an epidemic. I believe an epidemic is the one that ends. Yes, but a pandemic continues. This is continuous. So you have to consider the fact that you might have to stay outside, because they have to take precaution. Yes, they have to protect themselves and you, since they are the government. So I remember when we went there, when the systems failed, because our interview was scheduled at 4:30 to Lika. We stayed there for almost 1 hour and a half, because we were leaving there at approximately 6 to 6:30. But the most positive thing is that when the system when the system came back up, they didn't tell us to go. They offered their services. That was really nice because you can imagine if you are at work and you are given permission on that day and then you telling them, hey, I have to go tomorrow, I didn't finish. Your employer will not be happy. Right? So that was one thing. So I remember we sat on so many seats. They have seats, really comfortable ones. What are the ones that are in the waiting bay when you're going to the agent to get married? Those ones are really comfortable. So my son usually asked me, why are we sitting in all these seats? Because he didn't know what was happening. So once we were done, we were given a date. It was approximately a week after the interview. A week after the interview. So after that week, I don't think it was a week because I actually remember all this time I was at work. And I didn't have a wedding dress. You see this bad boy right here, this one, is what I wore to my wedding. Nothing I love this dress. I actually don't wear it because I wouldn't want it to get spoiled. I love it. I love this dress. So on the material day of the wedding, in this one I go. I had to wake up and go to think twice because I couldn't think of myself waking up and going to Komba. That would have been messy because by the time you're going and coming back, it's late, and our wedding was scheduled at 2. So I had to go to think twice. So I bought this bad boy at 200 shillings. This one. I don't know if you can see it now when I'm standing. Yes. I bought it at 200 shillings and we got ready and headed for our wedding. So on the wedding day, you have to go to a different waiting lobby. The one I was telling you has comfortable seats. So we got late, kama kawaida, African timers. Tulifika hapo at around what time? At around 2:10 to 20. We got there at 2:20. And what happened was that, one of our witnesses, because my husband's witness says where we stay, so we went with him. So one of our witnesses could not find or locate the Attorney General's office. So we had to wait for her, and that's why we got late. But we had also got into town at around 1:50. So walking there and kwenye tulikuwa tumeshikia ilikuwa mbali. It was kwenye tulikuwa tumeshikia matatu ilikuwa mbali sana. It was quite a distance. So when we got there at around, as I had said, at around 2:20, let me just approximate. It took us time because I think the systems dropped once more. And they couldn't print the certificates themselves because they are printed. And you as the spouse, you have to, what do we say? You as the spouse, you have to sign. The witnesses write their names and sign. So that was my wedding story, and I will attach a video and photos. Here present to witness commitment that I, John Yachuma Mushira, send you Chris Honey Ayuya, to be my lawful husband. Congratulations for the first conferred upon me and now pronounce you to be husband and wife. You may have one another to celebrate and you will kiss at home. Thank you so much. Please stick around for part 2. In part 2, I promise to do a mock marriage registration. So bye-bye. Consider subscribing and joining this little community. Thank you so much. Have a good time. Enjoy yourselves. Bye.